Hey friend, Paul did more to evangelize the known world in his time than probably any man alive. His results were amazing, and what he simply said in 1 Corinthians 3, he said, I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. And when I was meditating on that this morning, I realized this planting thing is actually very, very deep. And so in the previous video, I talked about if you're looking at your sales results and you're not happy with them, the first thing you want to look at is the quantity of seeds. How many seeds, how many messages, how many times have you gotten that message in front of prospective buyers this week, this month, and so forth? Let's take a look at that. Well, we covered that in the last video. The second thing you want to look at is not just the quantity of seeds, but of course the quality of seeds. Now, I did some study on this because I think the laws of nature are very profound. God created them. So if you want to learn how to grow your business, look at how God grows anything. The way he does it is the way he does anything, so you can learn tremendous amounts just from that, which I've done here for you. And so they say to get a good yield, you should choose a high-quality seed that's suited to your climate, suited to your soil type, and for the intended use. It's got to be right for the use. So that obviously means, number one, I don't try to sell somebody something that isn't in their best need. Okay, it would be the wrong use. I don't want to sell something to somebody that's just the wrong type. There's 4 types of soil that are mentioned in the Bible, from hard soil to thorny soil to rocky soil to actually good soil. And in other videos, we talk about the parable of the sower and what makes for a good prospect, what makes for good soil. But we can't get into that on this one. Now, the seed is your message. So having a high-quality message is of paramount importance. Because the Bible says, Paul said in 1 Corinthians 14, he says, if the trumpet makes an uncertain sound, in other words, if the message is kind of blurred, if it's kind of fuzzy, it's kind of obfuscated, like, what's he saying here? If it's like that, how can anybody prepare for battle? You got to have a clear, concise sound. And so that's terrific. So what are the traits that actually make for a quality seed in nature? Because those same things will make for a quality message in business. Okay, so let's take a look at that. The first thing is what's called genetic purity. Okay, and this is in the horticulture books, if you will, or online science, you'll find it's defined this way: high quality seeds come from plants with desirable traits and characteristics that'll produce offspring with the same traits. In other words, if you have like, man, this apple is really good, I'm going to take the seeds, I'm going to plant a tree because I want more apples that taste just like this. Okay, that's kind of what this is saying. Well, your message should speak of the traits and the characteristics that are desirable to your prospect, not the things that you're excited about, but the things that they'll be excited about. So that's part of the purity. My good seed is going to have. I'm going to speak of the traits and characteristics that are desirable to them. And what makes it desirable to them? It says right here, it produces offspring. In other words, it makes a result. It produces a result. It produces a benefit that matters to the prospect. So if you want to have a quality seed, a quality message, speak in terms of traits and characteristics that produce a meaningful result to the prospect, how they measure success. They can see themselves in the picture. That's number one. Number 2 characteristic is something called viability. This refers to the seed's ability to germinate and produce a healthy seedling under suitable conditions. That's called viability. Not that complicated. Well, high quality seeds have a high germination rate. You want that. You don't want to plant seeds and only one of them comes up or whatever, right? You want to have a high germination rate, meaning that a large percentage of them will successfully sprout. So, how viable is the message that you're offering? What are the chances that your customers are going to experience what you're promising? What is the success rate? How can you substantiate that? People need to see that your offer or that your message is truly viable or believable to them. So that's a question you want to look at. When you're looking at your messaging, you're not only looking at the genetic purity, in other words, its ability to relate benefits that matter to them, but also the viability, the likelihood of this actually happening. Then there's the third thing. The third thing is called vigor. Again, I'm not making this up. I'm just studying the textbooks because I like to see how God does stuff. But the third thing is vigor, which is the quality of the seedling to emerge quickly. This is a speed thing to establish robust growth and compete successfully with other plants. Now, the question you have to ask yourself in your messaging is, how quickly can your customers, can your clients begin to experience the results, the viability that you talked about in your message? How quickly can they get it? How much vigor is there in it? Why is that important? Well, customers will pay much more for something if the result is quicker than other alternatives. Okay, that's why when you look at weight loss books for $20, compared to, let's say, liposuction, which can cost thousands of dollars, right? The more vigor in your seed, the quicker that you can produce that result, the more value to the market and the more you can charge for it, because the more the market appreciates that. So focus on shortening the time frame for your customer to get a result. All right, I'm going to stop right here. I got about half a dozen more. Now, how many more I got? I got 4 more to go. I'm going to be sharing with you. We've covered off a few. I got 4 more traits of a good seed. We'll pick that up in the next video. Thanks so much. God bless you. Hey, listen, if you like this at all, if you think, this is interesting to see how God does stuff, okay? The way he makes things work. If that's of interest to you, I would appreciate it if you like, subscribe, want your notifications, that kind of thing. You know the drill. Do it all. Help spread the word, grow the channel. Those kinds of things would be the world of help to us. So thanks so much, and God bless.